I'm going to do the last video on halt. However, everything you do training a horse to the bridle and putting a horse on the aids contributes to a good halt. We're just doing a few things that you can use to work on your halt, but everything's important. But really the biggest injustice to horses is people ride their horse and they start pulling on the mouth as they're saying, whoa. So they're already punishing the horse for not stopping when the word whoa is coming out of their mouth. That's not really the injustice. The injustice is they ask their horse to halt where they want him to halt. So that would be like driving your car down the street 30 miles an hour, and when you're 2 feet in front of the stop sign, stomping the brake. And even then you won't stop at the stop sign. You'll leave rubber on the pavement. But there's a thing called inertia, where a moving object that weighs as much as this guy cannot stop on a dime. It's not possible. And we pull on their face and we want them to stop right now instead of applying the brake slowly and bringing the horse to a halt. So all we do when we halt the horses is teach them to fight and try to defend themselves when we halt them. You should very softly touch the bit and slowly apply the brake to bring him to a halt. The younger the horse, the longer it will take. Maybe 2 fence lengths in the beginning to stop your horse. But you've got to quit asking your horse to stop at the spot you want him to stop. It's like slamming on your brakes on your car. So in an earlier video, one of the things that we did was walk, halt, and back up. So let's just do that with him. So she gives the horse the aids to halt. So he understands the aids to halt. And she rides the horse forward to halt. Ask him to back and expect him to soften. Take his weight back on the hind end. Go forward. And halt. And 2 out of 3 times we'll ask him to back. We won't ask him to back every time, because then he'll believe the halt aid means stop and back up. All right, ask him to walk. Halt. Good, and it's not abrupt. Ask him to walk and halt. So the things that we're doing, you can do on the trail. You can start teaching it in the arena, but you got to do this out in real life situations. This is a sterile environment. But this is one of the best ways to teach a horse to halt out on the trail. If you can teach them as they come into the bridle, before you pull on their face, if they learn that if they stop their feet, you won't pull on their face, they will stop their feet. So a great exercise is to take them up the gate, slow at first so you can bring them back easily, ride them forward to your hands to a halt. And you should take 2 fence lengths to stop them. You should slowly apply the brakes. All right? Leg him up the gate. All right? And slowly start applying the brakes to bring him slowly to a halt. So now there's no reaction from his face. And he starts to learn that your seat, and if he stops his feet soon enough, your hands won't pull on his face to stop. You need to do this like 5 minutes out of every hour you ride. Leg him up the gate. Ride him forward to halt. So his seat rides him to a halt, and it's very gradual, like applying the brakes slowly, not stomping on the brakes, pulling she never pulls back on his mouth. She just makes a feel with her hands, and the feel kind of grows, maybe as she grows taller in the saddle. Because when she stops, she wants to invite him to lift his back so his hind legs can stop him. So it's like she grows taller. Her seat sucks his withers up. Leg him up. Back to walk. And she grows tall in her shoulders. And there. If he doesn't stop, if your horse pulls on your hand, she will lift her hands way up here. So the bit goes up in his mouth and makes him unlock his jaw and doesn't pull on his tongue. If she keeps her hands low where they are and he grabs the bit, it's going to be a tug of war because he believes you're going to pull on his mouth. Leg him up. Go to gait from halt. It's a good exercise to make him use his hind end. And back to walk. And so if he pulls on her hand, which he doesn't, she will lift her hands. Lift your hands as if he is pulling. Yeah, halt. And so the bad thing is we have a bunch of training horses here, and all of them almost wouldn't stop when they came, and now they all stop from our seat, so we don't even have one good one to show. So he stops from her seat, really. But this is such a good thing that you can do on the trail, is legging them up to gait and riding them slowly to halt or walk. If you have a very anxious horse and he halts very abruptly because he's been trained very hard, you need to teach him to not have such an abrupt halt. So you need to ask him to halt, close your fingers, and really ride him forward and make him take 2 fence lengths to halt. Abrupt halts make anxious horses more anxious. So if we get a very on-the-muscle horse that stops too abruptly, we teach him how to stop without slamming on the brakes all the time. Can you think of anything that we can add to this? All right, we're done.